So I hate being late. Like it bothers me to be, especially like if people are waiting for me and I'm expected to be somewhere at a certain time, like being late just bothers me.
So like also just a little context why like Ben, you kind of like, I feel like Ben's just kind of angry at the world sometimes. It's because he's doing a podcast with me for 2 years and I'm late to everything.
Yeah, I guess in a way this is what is it? Channeling? What's the word? Yeah. Projecting. I'm projecting frustration. I'm speaking that I hate being late because I really hate that you're late all the time. But no,
and he's like, this one time, I don't know how you do this every single time.
Yeah, clearly you don't care about being late based on your track record, but I don't like being late. and it's inevitable. When you're late, you're gonna hit every red light. Always. Everything that can go wrong is gonna go wrong when you're late. Yep. And so this morning we planned this podcast. It's Friday morning. We're recording this. You guys are obviously hearing this on a Wednesday, and it's a little out of norm. We don't normally record on Friday mornings. And we said, all right, let's meet at 8:00. Start recording. Let's do it. And so I'm sitting there, okay, I got to leave at this time to get there at that time. And I was lazy this morning. This was 100% on me. And being late is 99.9% of the time your fault.
Lack of planning. 100%.
Lack of planning, right? So I was being lazy this morning.
Doesn't matter what excuse. Trust me, I've tried all the excuses. Doesn't matter. Well, if you left 10 minutes earlier, we wouldn't have this issue.
Exactly. So I was being lazy this morning. I woke up later than I should have, so I was rushing from the get-go. And I'm like, how do people do this? A lot of people do this all the time.
You live in this state of just chaos all the time.
Just chaos, constantly chasing the day. And so I'm running around trying to get everything done. And I'm heading out the door, and I drink a cold brew every morning. I, do this little mixology.
Like a Miller High Life?
No, yeah.
Oh, not a cold brew.
Cold brew coffee.
A cold brew coffee. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So there was a little pause in there. I was like, dang. Getting the banquet beer in early. All right.
No. Cold brew coffee. And so I've got everything in the car ready to go. I go and I set my cold brew coffee on the, so you walk out to get to our garage where our cars are, you got to go through the laundry room. And so I go to the laundry room, I set my cold brew on the dryer, and then I go off and do something else, and then I go back. And as I'm ready to walk out the door, I go to grab the cup, and it slips out of my hands. Ooh. Drop it. So there's just cold brew everywhere. I'm talking like down the vent drain, down the vent thing of the dryer, all down the sides, underneath. I'm already late, and now I've got to clean up this ridiculous spill because I'm an idiot.
How long in your mind were you like, Whitney will probably get it?
Well, I did the selfish thing, and I started to clean up, but I said, "Hey, I gotta go. Like I'm already late. I've got to go." And so very selfishly, I made her finish cleaning up, which I'm not proud of. But shout out to you, Whitney. Thank you for finishing cleaning up.
It's so
because it's like in every little nook that it could possibly be, and very untimely.
It's funny, little different scenario situation, but last night same deal. Like Tiff hasn't been feeling great. She's got, I don't know, kind of a headache or whatever.
Is she pregnant?
No, a little different. A little different, yeah. But she, last night just was like, I just need to, we had practice all night last night. And so she's like, left a little bit early, because usually we're all there together. And she's like, hey, I'm just not feeling good. I just want to go get the kids down and go to bed. So I took the boys. And anyways, I get home, and she always sleeps with a cup of water on her nightstand. And last night, probably more important, that she's got water by. And what was I doing? I went over. I was getting her a cough drop. Went and got her a cough drop. And I go, and her cup, she has this like pink cup, right? And all the lights are out except for like some background light, like in the bathroom or something. And I literally, like, this pink cup blends into this nightstand. Like, I can't see it. And same deal, dude. Like, I knocked this cup over. It's full of ice water. And
at least it's water.
Oh, dude, it goes in the outlet. The light turns off. It goes under the bed. It goes around. Like, it was everywhere. And I, like, literally for a split second, I was like,
it'll dry.
It's just water.
It'll dry eventually.
So I'm like, I know what's going through your head. It's like,
yeah, liquids, those damn liquids.
I'll get back to it. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, I hate being late.
Yeah.
And that's how we're starting. So that's the mindset that I'm in right now, is that I'm flustered.
So I got a question. All right. So here's what's weird. And I don't know why. And so maybe if there's a psychologist out there that's listening, you've probably given up on us already. There's probably very few psychologists that are still with us. But why do I think this way? So I literally remember back to, I think I was like 5 or 6. One of my earliest memories. And I was living in Vacaville. And I remember getting somewhere with my family, and we were the first ones there. And I remember being there and like waiting for everyone else to get there, and like the highest level of anxiety I had as a child, I think. Like I had this like, I hate being like the first one and like waiting. Like there was like this weird sense.
So that explains your whole...
I don't know. And that's what I'm asking. I don't know, but I do remember that. And then same thing, like junior high, like we'd have 8th grade. We went on this like 6-month period where like every single birthday was at the same little like hall, and we'd do a dance party, right? And I remember, and same deal is, I was never the first one there, but like there was a couple times that I was like staying at a friend's house and we went together, and they were there early and we were the first people there. And it's like anxiety level through the roof because I hate being the one that's there, because then there's that like awkward small talk when you're the first one there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the most selfish thing, but it's like, I want to show up when the party's already going. Like, I don't want to be the one that starts the party. I want the party to be going, and I just want to jump in.
So you're telling me that the 5 years I've known you and my pent-up frustration, it can be explained by...
Trace it back.
The anxiety that you had as a kid waiting
trace it back. Because it's something about it, man. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if... And because football was very different, like, I wanted to be the first one in the building. Like, always. Like, I always wanted to be the first one. And if I wasn't, like... opposite, right? Yeah. Like if there was people in the parking lot, players, more than one or two, like, okay, there's something wrong. Like I'm late, nightmares about that. But then everything else in my life has to do with me showing up as it's already gotten started.
It's because you're trying to avoid the anxiety of being early.
Yeah, maybe it's, just my lack of enjoyment of people. When I actually, like, I'd rather the music be loud already going so I don't have to have a real conversation with you.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
I never considered that there was anxiety with getting there early.
I know.
Because most of us feel anxiety with getting there late.
Yes.
But you feel anxiety with getting there early. Which is why you show up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's wrong with me, people? Like, please, like, let me know what is wrong with me.
It's selfish, number one. But
100%. 100%.
Your avoidance of discomfort affects a lot of people.
That's what I'm saying. So I put like my tiny little need over the masses, right? Everybody else is pissed.
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as I'm not
uncomfortable. As long as I'm not uncomfortable, you all can sit there and wait
selfish.
for me.
So selfish.
Well, hey, at least it's explaining it. Now that's the first step. Is now I understand.
Admitting I have a problem.
Yes. You have a problem. Now I understand your problem.
Okay.
It's not necessarily going to change anything, but now at least I can sit here and, he's going to be late. And I've gotten used to it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's not fine. Don't say that.
But, it's not fine. It's still frustrating every time.
Literally, I'm not kidding you. Hold on. Sorry. There's 3 fights that my wife and I have. Number one, by far the most, is my lack of time.
Because she's not like that, right? She
is always early, always like she'll show up to her workout 30 minutes early. My nightmare. That is my nightmare.
That's excessive.
Yeah. She's there. I mean, it's not even like she does anything. She just talks.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, if you're going to get some mobility work or something like that.
She's a weirdo. She likes people.
I know. It's insane. I
don't know what's wrong with her.
But I love her. I love you, babe. But then the other 2 fights are, she has this thing where, I would say we get Amazon packages at least every other day, maybe. Usually then they're grouped up because Amazon drivers are like, dude, we're not going out there every single day. We're gonna save them up and we're just gonna dump them all on the porch. And she has this thing that she thinks the perfect spot for them is right outside of the garage door, not broken down, just like in an unorganized pile right outside of the door.
The empty boxes you're
The empty boxes in the garage. Like, is that the case with Whitney? I feel like
ours are stacked by the back door. By the back door.
Yeah. But are they stacked?
And
broken
they're
down?
expected for me to be taken out.
No, because she doesn't like to
No,
see them.
They're not broken down.
Oh no.
They're
Okay,
just
I guess I understand. That could be our job, but she doesn't like to see them, so they can't be in the house. They can't be by the door. They literally, it's like she's hook shotting them blindly into the garage, like bouncing off of her car, bouncing off, and like that's where they go, and they'll sit there, and I'm like, and usually like in that the garage for me is like. That is my space that I need to have organized. And even her garage, because she's got a garage and then I've got one. Hashtag rich. But like her garage, it's like, because the kids stuff is in there and it is absolute madness in there. And it like, every time I walk through, it's like, she wonders why I walk into the house like screaming every time. Every time.
Yeah, you're a pretty laid back dude. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't. Not much seems to fluster you. So it's funny that
you'd be
boxes
surprised.
in your garage.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Because it's like it's organization. Like, and she's like, our house is always clean. Like, she's like such a clean freak. But when it comes to garage and loading the dishwasher,
No.
It's like, oh my gosh, how does this make sense? How does this make sense to you? Like, you literally went cup, bowl, big knife sideways, faced up, glass Tupperware deal, all in the same row on the same rack. Like, how does that make sense? Like, you literally, like, it looks full when you open it, and you just ran the dishwasher. There's 4 dishes in here. How? It's not even getting clean because you're stacking stuff on top of each other. Like, I don't understand it. Those are our fights. Welcome into the Klutz household.
Dude, thanks for peeling back that curtain. I'm literally crying right now.
It's like,
so what's the third one?
That's it. So boxes, dishwasher, and time.
And time. We got it.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we fight about.
Oh man, I guess we all have our flaws. I didn't realize your wife's flaw was
illogical. You know what though?
Dishwasher
Like, in her
loading.
defense about the dishwasher deal, like, she hand washes everything.
I do
like,
too. I don't like putting things in the
Yeah,
dishwasher.
so maybe she's just like, I don't know.
I'm gonna do this so that I don't have to use the dishwasher.
I'm just gonna make him so mad that he rips the dishwasher out, and we just have to hand wash everything.
Well, it's like that thing as a kid, right? You intentionally did stuff incorrectly so that you weren't asked to do it again.
It's true. That is true.
This is her way of saying, I don't want to load the dishwasher.
Yeah, no. We're gonna hand wash it, and you're gonna dry it, and we're gonna put them away right then. I take that back. There's a fourth one. I wouldn't say it ever turns into a fight. Like, I've given up on it. Is she cleans as you go. So like, if I'm making dinner, or if I'm cooking, like if I'm grilling or something like that, like I'll be smoking something out on the Traeger grill, and I'll get the cutting board out because, okay, hey, it's going to be done in about 10 minutes. I got my knife, and the cutting board, and then, whatever else I need out there. Right. And so I'll go and I'll pull the meat off, and I'll come back in, and the cutting board, knife, and everything is put away. And I'm like, where did it go?
Efficiency.
Like, oh, I put it away. I was like, remember how you asked me to cook the steaks or the whatever I'm cooking on it? Remember that? Yeah. Like, I literally was gone for 45 seconds. She's like, sorry, I just put it away. So she literally, if something is out, it gets put away.
I'm on Team Tiffany on this one. I'm totally in her corner on that one. Efficiency. Let's get it clean. Let's get it put back.
It's so funny how I'm totally intentionally leaving out all the things that I do that annoys her.
Well, she doesn't have a podcast. Tell her to get her own
podcast. Your own podcast then.
I heard this funny quote yesterday. It said, "Men, what was something along the lines of, men don't go to therapy; they just start their own podcast."
So true. So true.
So that's what this last 10 minutes or 15 minutes
I feel
was.
So much better.
Is therapy.
Oh, I'm about to.
You just got all that.
I'm about to attack the day.
So if you're still with us, that's not what we're going to talk about today, because this is our Wednesday episode. So we're talking about physical health.
Yes. We get through that emotional health thing there for a second.
Yeah. Just put that on the back burner for now. But I did see something yesterday that was pretty eye-opening that I wanted to get your take on. Dr. John Russin, he's a physical therapist on Instagram. Well, he's actually a physical therapist. He has an Instagram account. Pretty big following. But he posted this yesterday. He said, only 3.4% of Americans strength train 2+ times per week for a minimum of 30 minutes per session. This includes any form of calisthenics, resistance bands, or free weights. America isn't only in the midst of an obesity epidemic, but also a muscle and strength epidemic. 3.4%.
3.4%.
Only 3.4% 2+ times per week. That's crazy.
Dude.
And you forget, you and I, we grew up, in athletics and around, and I was lazy. I was a lazy kid. Like you've seen, we joke about it all the time, my pictures. Like I didn't have a single hardworking bone in my body when it came to training. Now I like to practice and I like to play and I like to do actual sports, the fun part. But when it came to training, that wasn't for me. But we did grow up in an environment where it was natural. It was normal. That was just part of what we did as team sports is you lifted weights. And so I get down that track in that mentality thinking, well, everybody just grew up with it. But I guess the reality is, no, not really.
Well, think about this. You're on a football team, and I don't know if Abilene had the same numbers, but Fresno State, like we were maxed out at 110 guys on the roster.
Yeah.
I think you're like 85 guys on scholarship, something like that. Think about it. Yes, everybody, and I'm throwing up air quotes if you're just listening, everybody lifted weights, but really like there was probably like 30 or 40 guys that like actually lifted weights, like took it serious. The other guys kind of went in, checked the box, walked out. Those 100 guys are 1% of the 1% that actually made it to college football. Right? From the high school players and so on down. And that's one sport. So now, and we're talking about, let's just say 40% of the 1% of the 1% are actually lifting weights.
Yeah.
So you're surrounded by it and you're in it. But like, if you go back and you look at the numbers and like, think about the baseball guys. Baseball guys are doing mobility. They're doing core stuff. They're not like in there lifting. Basketball guys for sure weren't lifting.
Golf, tennis.
It's restricting mobility, right? So you got wrestlers and you've got football players, lacrosse players. Trying to think what other like actually like really truly lifted. Track and field maybe. Yeah, because you got throwers. But if you got like the big throwers and stuff like that.
True. So some of the biggest freaks on campus were our
those throwers.
Discus and shot put throwers.
When you see those dudes over there like power cleaning and like back squatting,
ridiculous,
monsters. But so like real numbers, it's like, okay, I thought it was everybody, but really I was just in a really tight knit small group. But that was a really low percentage of the population.
Well, and narrow that down even more when you're done playing. Think about all the people that actually stick with it after they're done playing.
Right.
How many? I mean, you see athletes all the time. Overweight, out of shape, when they were just a specimen while they were playing, but once they retire, it's like.
Well, think about gym numbers. Think about a successful like big box gym. We'll just say that a very very successful big box gym. Let's just say they have 10,000 members, okay? They estimate that only 20% utilize the membership.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now you go into the gym, and like if you're one of those people that's there all the day, you're like, dang, everybody's fit. Yeah, because you are there with 10% of the 20% that actually go to that gym.
Right.
That have a membership. And they're there consistently. So you're like, okay, but even if you look around that, you're like, okay, there's probably 10 people at one time that you're like, okay, those people really get after it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so those numbers, if you really kind of put it in reality, that I guess that makes sense.
Well, and I worked in the corporate gym world for 5 years, and you're right. You have this, however many members you have.
Yeah.
And then there's a very small percentage that show up routinely.
Yep.
And then an even smaller percentage that actually strength train.
Yep.
Of that percentage.
Yep.
You're exactly. Most people just stand on the cardio. Yep. Do that for 30 minutes. They may go mess around a little bit with the weights, but not really anything beyond that. So they're showing up, but they're not even really, utilizing it to its full capability.
And which is crazy because how many guests have we had on the shows? Doctors, physical therapists, strength trainers, the most elite athletes ever, like the Matt Frasers, the Rich Fronings, the Tia Claire Tomies, like the best of the best, right? And what is the consensus? The best thing that you can do for your health is have a higher percentage of muscle mass.
Yep.
The more muscle you have, the healthier you are.
And the stronger you are. I've been saying this for the last 10 years. Life is easier when you're strong.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean deadlifting 500 pounds. That means I'm able to get up out of a chair on my own.
Talking about my workout this morning?
Yeah, I'm talking about your freak of nature.
I gotta make sure this comes back to me and we talk about me. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
keep going.
and I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to being able to get up out of a chair on your own. Yeah. That's the number one leading cause of disability for old people, is that they're not able to get up and down out of a chair.
Yep.
I'm talking about the ability to be able to carry a box from your car, up to your second story
apartment,
a bedroom, or your apartment. Carrying your groceries in. I'm talking about simple things that the stronger you are, the easier things are. And it's just interesting to me that statistic, and I don't know where, be fully transparent, I didn't look into it much beyond that. I'm just taking him for at his word. Yeah. I don't know but even if it's not 3.4%, even if it's a little higher, it's not much higher than that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are uncomfortable with that idea. And I used to think it was a lack of knowledge, and maybe that's still what some people's excuse are, but there's so much information out there. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of applying the knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a lack of knowledge. I think part of it is just lack of pursuing that knowledge, right? Yeah. The information is out there. There's no question. But like, some people just don't want to know that, because then they feel like now I'm obligated to do it once I know it, right?
Well, and even when you do know, and this has been, and I've said this before, this has been my number one takeaway the last 2 years of doing this podcast, is action is the real secret to anything. Taking the action. You can have all the answers you want.
Yeah.
You can have everything figured out in your mind, but until you actually take action, it's not really getting you anything.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we are, strength training and physical training in general, is we have the knowledge. We know what to do. It's pretty simple. The formula to get in shape is simple, right? You moderate your calories if you're trying to lose weight, and you move your body.
Yeah.
That's a simple formula.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
No. Yeah.
It's simple, but it's not easy. Knowing what to do is different from taking the action on what you do. And that's why we started these Wednesday episodes. That's why I advocate everywhere I go, and anybody I interact with, I try to tell them just the life they're missing out on if they're not physically active. Right. The problem is telling somebody is different from them actually. How do you get them to take that step? How do you encourage somebody to decide today's the day that I'm doing this? No longer am I going to put it off. No longer am I going to say tomorrow's the day or I'll wait till Monday. No, today is the day. And what I've come to realize is it's up to the individual. It's not up to me to want it for them. It's up to them to decide something's happened, their goal's big enough, whatever it is. That's what gets them to take that action.
Yep. Yeah. And any parent knows this. You can project, you can yell, you can tell your kid what to do, you can discipline. It ultimately has to be their decision.
Right.
Like it has to be. It can't be you telling them how to do it, when to do it, what to do it. And it has to be them making the decision in their head. Okay. Like for example, and I'm going to put my son on blast because that's usually what I do.
Yeah, we hate him.
Yeah.
I'm just,
you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Is he's been asking to play tackle football. He's in third grade right now. I started in third grade.
That's why you're mashed potato brains.
Dumb as rocks.
All right. Side note. Just kidding. Tyler is actually one of the smartest people. Literally.
I just don't apply myself.
Literally, we do a test at our company, and Tyler scored on the knowledge part one of the highest scores they've ever seen. So we make fun of Tyler for being dumb, but he's actually one of the smartest people I know. Go ahead.
We were talking before the show. It's a character. I just play the dumb guy. Expectations are much lower. So he wants to play tackle, and it's ultimately his choice, right? I have an intimate position of experience and knowledge with it. I don't have a problem if you are physically and mentally ready to play tackle football. And I talk to parents all the time, like, listen, the game has changed so much. The kids are protected so much. The equipment is so different. Like, I'm not worried from a physical, from an injury, from a brain. I'm not worried. I'm aware, but I'm not worried about it. But I told him, I said, hey, bud, you have to show me that you really want it. And to do that, you have to do more than you're doing now. Because what you're doing right now is not going to translate to you having a good experience doing this. And I know you love football, and I don't want the love of the game to be taken away from you. So you need to show me that this is something you want. I'm not saying for a week. I'm not saying for a month. I'm not saying for 2 months. I'm saying I need to see it between now and next season consistent. And if you want to make that choice, go ahead and make that choice. If you don't, that's fine. But we're going to probably do another year of flag football. Like, that's fine. But there has to be a change, because you are physically, emotionally, mentally not ready for it. And that's hard for him to hear. Now, I haven't seen a big change yet.
Yeah.
And he keeps talking about it. I was like, bud, we talked a month ago, and what's different? Well, my push-ups have gotten better. Yes, they have. Your push-ups have gotten better, and I'm proud of you about that. And actually last night, it was the first time I ever saw him grind through really, really hard times running. And I was like, all right, maybe it's something. But again, it has to be his choice.
Right.
And maybe I gave him an ultimate, but it has to be his choice. It can't be us wanting something for someone else. If they don't want it for themselves, one, they're not going to do it effectively. Two, they're not going to be able to sustain it, because you have to want it for yourself if you're going to make any sort of change.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the night before syndrome.
Yeah.
You know that thing where you're sitting there in your head, you're laying in bed, you got these big plans and these big goals, and you're going to get after it, and then in the morning, all that motivation's gone. And now what are you left with?
And it's also, the night before as well, it's, I've got something tomorrow. I'm now going to start preparing for it the night before. No, if you want something, I start preparing for it a year in advance, 6 months in advance, depending on whatever the goal is, right? But you can't just turn it on and it happen. Playing in the NFL, there were guys that had the ability, the natural talent, that could kind of coast through the week and turn it on for the game. They were gamers. That's a real thing. But guess what? They had 15 years of experience that led up to them having that ability.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, that it doesn't seem like it, but the easiest part really is figuring out the formula of what you're supposed to do. Putting a plan together in place of what you're supposed to do. If your goal is weight loss, the easiest part is actually putting together a plan to lose weight.
Yeah.
The hard part is doing the plan and executing day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until you reach that goal. That really is the trick.
100%.
And it's not a trick. It's the work is the hard part.
That's right.
So you know what to do. That's the simple part. The not so easy part is executing on what you're supposed to do. And hopefully that's the encouragement I want people to take away today is start today.
Yeah.
Again, you have 75 to 100 examples of people who've said over and over and over again, just start.
Yeah.
Don't worry about all the answers. Just get going.
Yeah.
So if by this point in the podcast you've been with us any significant amount of time, you haven't gotten into your head yet that action is the most important thing, then just stop listening, because it's really not doing much. It's not doing anything for you anymore. You're just enjoying consuming content at this point. And I'm talking to myself here as well, because there's areas of my life where I have a blind spot on this. For me, fitness, thankfully, is not an issue. I don't have a problem executing and taking action in fitness, but there's other aspects. Business development, there's other aspects in parenting where it's a little bit more difficult. So I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
But the point is, you know what to do. That's the simple part. The not so easy part is the thing that you've been avoiding, which is taking action. So start today. Throw your headphones in, go for a walk. Go to a park and get in some body weight lunges or there's tons of information. Something, just do something that's going to take you close. Action is the best thing you can possibly do. That delays all, what's the word? The A word, apprehension. That it's a pivot, right? Anytime you're feeling like, I don't really know what to do, go take action of something that you know.
Because we're always so scared to start, right? Like this idea of changing my life really is scary because I'm stuck in this zone of comfort. But then, to your point, just start, you realize it's not actually
not as bad as you think.
It's not that scary.
It's never as bad as you think.
Yeah. And honestly, again, I can attest to it. Ben can attest to it. Anybody that's ever taken their fitness, their wellness serious, the second they get through it, you are so glad that you did.
Yes.
It's just getting there and getting started. Keep it very, very simple. It does not have to be complex. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be unique. And look, go for a walk. Okay. If you're at a point where you want to start doing resistance training, hey, guess what? Start doing squats, start doing some deadlifts, start doing some presses. Okay. Start there. Be very, very, very simple with it. It does not have to be complicated, but just get going. Because again, like you said, that's the easy part, is getting started. What's not easy is actually continuing that and being consistent with it. Yep. So you have that battle of saying, all right, I want to sleep in this morning instead of going to work out. I have that, I'm running late, so I'm not going to meal prep. I'll just grab something out while I'm out today. I don't want to go for that walk at night because I'm tired from the day and I just want to sit down and watch Netflix. Like that's the mental battle that is harder, and I'll admit that because I think we all struggle with that at some point, sure. Right? So but get the easy part. I'm telling you, it feels scary, it feels big. Just get started.
And when you're done, and you're not going to realize this until you do it yourself, but the benefit of when you're done and how it just propels you, especially if you do it first thing in the day.
Yeah.
Just how it propels you through everything else.
Yeah.
And if you can do the hardest thing of your day, first thing, it makes everything else by comparison seem not that big of a deal.
And we don't have any kind of partnership. We don't have anything with them. But like one thing that honestly has been a game changer for me, and I don't even know how accurate, because I don't think it is, because I do the same exact workout as somebody else who has the same thing, and they're like 10 points higher than I am. But the Whoop strap for me has been a game changer, because what it does is I do get that small little victory to see, okay, I did hit this. I did hit the strain. I did hit, because whether it's accurate on recovery, whether it's accurate on your day strain, because the day strain is it measures how hard you actually exert yourself during that day. So it's how long your heart rate is above a certain level. I think mine is completely whack. It's not accurate relative to other people, but it doesn't matter. It's consistent with me, and it's like, all right, cool. I hit over 10 strain today. Boom.
I think it is accurate. I think, and not that you're some freak show, but you're just in better shape than that person next to you. Their strain is higher because their heart rate's jacked up higher. Your heart rate doesn't get that high.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got a weird heart, but or two, maybe you're just in good shape. Yeah. So that would explain the difference. But I'm with you. I use this thing religiously.
Yeah.
And look at this thing. Now, it can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, meaning if you see that red or that yellow, your recovery score, it can.
I don't know. For me, it's cool because like that's where it's like, all right, now let's take this strain up. Like it says, take it easy, back off a little bit. I'm like, no, let's get this strain up because what that's going to do for me is that's going to help me sleep better tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. No, like I said, it can mess with my mind. Like if I wake up and I feel okay, but my number says a thing, then all of a sudden mentally I'm thinking, maybe I am tired today. Oh, maybe I do need to.
There are those built-in excuses like, you're right. I do feel like garbage. Yeah. But then there's also like the good things is when I do get the good recovery in, it's like, dude, I'm gonna conquer the world today. Right. Like I'm green, baby.
Yeah. Oh, I feel some days I'm like, man, I feel really good, and I check it, and my score's in the green. Yeah. I'm like, it really is amazing how you feel. And again, we got no affiliation with Whoop. It's just an awesome.
It is a great tool, to
keep track.
It's those small little victories along the way that help the bigger journey.
That's right. But again, I think the take-home message is this: you know what to do at this point. With all the information out there in the world, there are no more secrets. Yeah. The formula is out there. Yep. You know what to do. Yeah. The hard part is taking action on what you're supposed to do.
That's right.
And that's what I want you to take away from this episode today is it's time to take action.
That's right.
No more waiting around, no more excuses, no more saying I'll wait till Monday. Today's the day. It's Friday or Wednesday or whenever you listen to this. Today's the day. Quit putting it off. It's time to get after it. You know what to do. It's time to get after it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what our encouragement is to you today.
Sweet.
So get out there. Stop listening to podcasts or listen to podcasts. I know you don't because you work in a group setting.
Yeah, I'm a music guy.
Yeah, you're a people person, not like me. But I work out by myself, and that's all I do is listen to podcasts. Yeah. That might be weird. Some people I need music, but
it is weird, dude.
Yeah, quit consuming. Get out there and start.
Think about how much more you could bench press.
If
you listen to music.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway, so hopefully that was encouraging you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, if you know of somebody that could use this encouragement, send it to them. Text it to them. Post it on your Instagram.
The other thing you can send to them is shortly we'll be releasing a video of our Saturday suffering that we just completed when you're listening to this. This is so like I've got the pregame nerves right now. But
yeah, when you're listening to this, we've already done it.
Coming out. Yeah, we got a video coming out highlighting it. It's going to be a fun one. We've structured it to create a little bit more excitement at the end. So look, we want to do the hard things to show you. Like I'm telling you right now, I do not want to do this Saturday.
Not at all.
This is the last thing that I want to do. But we're just going to go do it. And I guarantee you on the back end of it, I'm going to be dog cussing Ben for the workout that he created, but I'm going to be thankful also.
That's right. No, I'm not looking for it. And it's this weird inception thing where we're recording this a few days before we do it, but you're listening to this after we did it, and the video hasn't released yet, so you haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of weird, but.
Yeah, see, because here's the deal is really, truly when this airs, I'm going to look like Popeye with my forearms. They're going to be like all the way to my wrist. They're not there yet. So.
Yeah, we're doing wrist curls for 60 minutes. It's going to be awesome.
Straight.
No, but be on the lookout for that video. We had a lot of people react to that first one. I think they enjoyed our suffering on the first one. So round 2's coming to you guys here shortly. We'll obviously make more announcements.
Quick shout out, Salina High School. Appreciate you all for supporting us. It's been awesome working out there.
Absolutely. So get out there, do something today that you're uncomfortable with.
That's right.
Whether it's physical, whether it's mental, get out there and do something different today.
Let's go.
Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.